You close the door on a toxic relationship. You set your boundary, walk away, and finally breathe. But a few days later, your phone buzzes. It is one of their friends checking in to see how you are doing. This is a visualization showing the mechanics of proxy manipulation. When a toxic person, represented by the red node, can no longer reach you directly, they route their influence through intermediate channels. In psychology, these unaware third parties are known as flying monkeys. Look closely at how the data flows here. The manipulator uses these proxies to pierce your defenses, extracting information, drama, and emotional reactions to feed straight back to the source. You can shut down this intelligence-gathering network. We are going to walk through a 4-step protocol called the Information Blackout. This process allows you to block these spies without having to explain yourself. Step 1 is identifying the attack. The approach often looks like casual concern. They will say they miss you, ask about your week, and then seamlessly drop a line meant to guilt trip you into reconnecting. You need a hard rule for these interactions. The second the toxic person's name enters the conversation, the casual check-in is over. You are being tested. The instant here is to explain your side of the story, so the messenger understands why you left. If you start defending your actions, you lose the interaction. As you can see in this network model, getting angry or defensive does exactly what the manipulator wants. Your frustration converts directly into emotional ammunition. You are handing the spy intelligence to deliver right back to the person you cut off. Recognizing the test is your primary defense. By observing the tactic and refusing to engage, you prove that the toxic person is no longer influencing your thoughts. Step 2 is preparing your physical response. You must adopt a brick wall stance. When we feel accused, our bodies naturally tense up. Look at the difference in posture here. You must drop the defensive posturing on the left and shift to the relaxed stance on the right. Internally, this requires discipline. You have to suppress the natural human desire to win the argument or prove your point to the messenger. Maintain direct, steady eye contact. Let your shoulders drop. Keep your facial expression completely flat and free of emotion. You are making yourself uninteresting by design. The flying monkey was dispatched to collect a dramatic reaction. By remaining neutral, you starve them of the data they came to harvest. Step 3 is vocalizing your boundary. Deliver the blackout boundary as a strict, automated system response. There is one specific line you need to memorize. When the subject is breached, you look at them and say, "I appreciate your concern, but I am not going to discuss that person." Do not add a single word to the sentence. Do not ad lib, and do not add a because followed by a justification. This phrasing is highly calibrated. The first half acknowledges the messenger, while the second half firmly rejects the subject matter. Deploying this exact script builds a barrier. It stops the proxy in their tracks without providing new material to argue against. Step 4 is the follow-through. This requires executing a technique called the no-pause pivot. This timeline graph maps the execution. Notice how the boundary script instantly connects to the new topic. The millisecond you finish the script, you shift the conversation to an entirely unrelated subject. Keep the pivot simple. Ask about their job, weekend plans, or the weather. Watch what happens if you leave empty space. If you pause, a red wedge appears, inviting the proxy to negotiate. The pivot relies on social conventions. If you change the subject to their weekend plans, the proxy must consciously choose to drag the conversation back. Most people will follow your new topic. By mastering this immediate pivot, you definitively close the door on their mission and protect your peace. Let's look at the result of the blackout. Notice how the proxy nodes travel back to the manipulator completely empty. Your target node remains isolated, protected by an unbroken boundary. You have given them nothing. Because you remained neutral and provided no intelligence, the manipulator's attempt to use a third party has failed. High-value individuals recognize their worth. They do not negotiate their personal boundaries with messengers. Write the script down and practice the protocol. Being prepared to execute this routine allows you to maintain your boundaries and protect your peace.